Welcome back to the Blended Family Podcast. I am your host, Miss Lorraine, and of course, right beside me, I have my one-woman production team.
Hi, everybody. I'm KAYLA, ISMANIE.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, please, girl. It has been so long, as you know, guys. I have been giving you little snippets like we're coming back and we're going to do our thing, and it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
So you want to start with your story first?
Yes, sure. Where do we even begin? Okay, so
renovations.
Exactly.
Actually, no. We
actually
going to start with the architect program.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like that's right. I guess about the time near whatever have you that we started Blended Family. I just started my first corporate job. Just graduated college. I'm an architect. I studied in architectural studies with my bachelor's degree, and then applied to work at a huge firm, huge company in New York. So, as you guys know, it's all the things with those adjustments. And I'm like, my commute's an hour and 30 minutes. That's gonna be a job alone. So I said, okay. It's also like, oh my gosh, like so everything's gonna be shift and just entering like adulthood. Like you're in your 20s, you're working in New York, and with my position in your first year, you do a rotational program to do 6 months in 3 different departments. Imagine the adjustments, because like when you do a rotational under different managers, supervisors, meeting new co-workers, getting acclimated into that team, you want to have good first impressions and keep the momentum. And in the background, I started my big leap of faith into my home buying journey. Guys, I bought a huge project. It's not
any renovation.
That didn't change.
Yes.
But it was a huge fixer upper. But I knew that house was something that I loved. It was perfect for me in what I was led to do. Like I literally prayed again, Lord, let it be. If not, don't. And so all things, like mountains were being moved, miracles were happening. Y'all. The journey was not easy.
Wait, but on top of that, KAYLA had to also prepare for graduating her program. The architect program.
You're right.
That was actually put the stump on everything.
I forget. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
you're right. I forgot about that. See,
because we were actually doing pretty good. We were pre-recording.
Yes.
Yeah, we were pre-recording ahead of time, and then we ended up we pre-recorded, and then you had to start focusing more on graduating.
So yeah, that came to priority, and you definitely understood.
So that's why I didn't have a production team, my one-woman production team.
For obvious reasons, and the production team was gone. And then Lorraine's like, oh, I still could probably do it. And I'm like, girl, but then the quality of work, we don't
I know.
Rest.
So that's why we stopped at episode 6, which I ended up recording through, I think, StreamYard, by the way. And I'm not putting down StreamYard because I will be using it.
Absolutely. It's so
but I wanted to try to keep the momentum going, still engaging with people by still putting, something out, a new episode. And that is where we actually stopped at, because, the biggest thing with KAYLA is that she wanted to make sure the quality was still good. And, she actually helps me navigate. We will have an episode with a bloopers on there, and y'all will see.
We have so many FaceTime calls, and constantly doing the video.
Absolutely.
I send that.
My nervousness, I know you guys will never believe it, but KAYLA is a witness to it. I'll be like, okay. And it'll be recorded for a good 5-10 minutes before I actually even start talking. I'll be like, oh my gosh. And KAYLA, she got me doing all kinds of things, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
And then she jumps in and hits the ground running.
I just hit it.
What? Why were you nervous?
Trust me, it be there. My stomach turned into knots. But then shortly after KAYLA graduated from her architectural program, which I was very, very proud of, and I also showed up as well. Then I had to start renovations at my house as well. So we both
Which
had renovations.
It was boom. Like it happened so fast.
It really did.
Had some renovations.
I was like,
and then,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, both of our work life became busy.
Absolutely.
And for me, starting that new position. And
So her plate was full. And then
with more
mine,
workload with that.
Exactly. And then mine was full
Yes.
because of the amount of people. I'm in HR, so the amount of people that, I was tasked to hire and interview. Plus the commute. So I live a lot further away from New York City, still in New Jersey, but South Jersey. And I like to tell people I'm just outside of Philadelphia because it just only makes sense to say it that way. And that's the only way people can commute. You can't even mention towns down here because they're going to be like, well, where's that?
Once you hit certain names, everyone in New Jersey knows.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then for context, I'm glad with my new home, I'm closer.
She's much closer.
I'm on 25 minutes.
So yeah, I know. I'm so jealous. So jealous. But we both have just been going through things with that, the commute and renovations and stuff like that, and you just like, oh my gosh, it was just too much for both of us. I was tired, and it was like, and we both were just joking about this. We're like, how are we going to do a podcast? We both got no walls, no floor.
We're down to the studs.
We're down to the studs all the way. Yes.
Or our contractors calling us like in the middle of our, you know what I mean? Like we have to be attentive because if you're not, they can do anything. They can put light switches crooked, the wrong materials, whatever.
Well, I have to say I was lucky because my GC happened to be my man.
And for me, we'll get there.
So I didn't have any of those things to worry. I actually, if I worked, I was able to concentrate on working because I had an all-in-one man.
And for me, who I hired to be my expediter and try to manage my project, he ended up not being who he was set to be.
Oh,
was delaying my project. So I went in myself to be my own GC, which I was doing all along anyway. And so, yes.
It paid for her to be an architect. You ended up doing your own scope of work. To get a permit, guys.
I did.
To get a permit.
Oh, I forgot the permit process. So, oh my gosh. The energy requires.
Exactly. And I'm also going to add this as well, too. Because I have visions and I'm always sketching in my head, but I don't know how to place it down on paper. So I was telling KAYLA what I actually wanted, especially downstairs, part of my renovations.
Right.
And KAYLA was actually able to sketch out my kitchen in 2 different ways and was able to give it to Q, who is my GC and my man and everything else.
And all of
and
fill in the blanks.
And it almost came out just as she sketched it as well.
And I'm so glad because her GC, like we met at the Mind. Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, he just did it on paper, but like we were speaking the same language, so.
Well, at least y'all two. Because now it became between Q and KAYLA because I was kind of left out. I was like, I'm not looking at these numbers. I just know what I want, and that's it. And that was it.
So we're here talking about, okay, how can we accommodate? That's a 24 inch or 10 inch.
Yes.
3 box. And you're here like, I don't know what you're going to talk about.
I'm like, I say, here, talk to KAYLA. I'm like, I don't know. Because remember, I called you, I FaceTimed you one night.
Yes.
It was one night and we were going over like specs and stuff like that and all of that. So
and it's so cute.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
Stay tuned for season 2's intro. You guys will kind of see then.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. Even a little bit of right now.
Exactly.
So we're just here to tell you, and I'm going to repeat from even the little statements that I have been leaving throughout the year and a half, that life just have been lifing. And I know you guys can understand that as an adult. We all have responsibilities, and sometimes we have to prioritize what is needed most before what is needed upon our wants.
Yeah,
so, and trust me, I made sure that I stayed in touch with you guys and just wanted to, just keep engaging and just keep letting you know, like, hey, I'm here. Miss KAYLA's here as well. We're still here in the mix of wanting to do and reach out to everyone. This season is going to be phenomenal. We are going to have, besides just myself and besides Miss KAYLA as well, we will be having other people come and discuss their lives. We are going to talk more about successful marriages as well, because we have had some feedback from last season that most people, I won't say most, I'm going to say half. So have people who just love us, you know. They love us. They couldn't really relate too much because they actually have been in their marriages for long term. So to accommodate for everyone, we are going to talk about blended families. We are going to talk about blended families who are married as well and who has been successful. And then we're also going to talk about successful marriages as well. You know, it just happens to be that I am in a blended family, even with Q. I am in a blended family, and you know, that life for me will forever continue. Hopefully not for my children, you know, hopefully they'll be able to, you know, get married once and stay married, but if not, then they will also to become blended families. So it's a lot that's going to be going on for season 2. A lot of exciting topics as well that we are going to be addressing, and just adding other people input as well, and again, their success or maybe not their success. I love to hear both sides of what worked and what didn't work. And also this will be like a preparation for Miss KAYLA as well.
Absolutely.
You know, because you know, she will soon one day, you know, date, married, and all that good stuff, and I'm gonna be there every single step of the way.
Yes, because for me, I'm like particularly and I refuse to settle. So I'm particularly waiting intently, for lack of a better word, that's the only word I could even associate, for the man that I want and desire and the love that I want. I refuse to settle. You know, and I'm just thriving in all my singleness has to offer.
Absolutely.
Well, I am. So,
as you should.
You know,
I have to say, to be extremely young,
yeah,
KAYLA has definitely hit many milestones that it would take some of us to get to. You know, I mean, I have purchased my first house when I was 24.
Okay.
I believe.
Oh, cool.
I was 24, but I wasn't by myself. So this is the first time here, and I'm in my 40s.
Right.
So, you know, KAYLA has hit a lot of milestones, and I told her that whomever she may date, whoever he may be, he has a long line to get through. It's a long line.
Person,
and a whole bunch of questions as well. Yeah. So, but anyway, we want to thank you for joining us, and we want to get into our first episode for season 2, which is basically, we're just going to recap what was season 1. Since it's been a year and a half, it's good just to go back. And of course, you know, you guys have all the links that are available to you. So let's get into it. So the first episode we had talked about, which is
embracing new life.
Exactly. So of course that was with me after going through a divorce and somewhat of whatever it was, that a relationship that I had gone through. But you know, it was embracing the new life of being a single woman at the time, and also with my children. My children were a lot younger, even though they're still young, but you know, they were even younger. Yeah. And life has been good. You know, I mean, it's a 2-year period, so I'm definitely nowhere where I was during the first time that we did recording, you know, for our very first episode. You know, I've definitely has been a changed woman. Things has definitely progressively moved along.
Absolutely. And then
in a great way.
Yeah, like that's why it's so imperative to embrace that new life. Absolutely. And on the flip side, if it is a breakup, a loss, a change in trajectory, or if it's just embracing singleness, like continually standing on hope or whatever the case is, that's the first step, because that frees you and allows you to surrender into what's next. So, and
it really do. And not to skip out on your blessing.
Absolutely.
Don't skip on your blessing. Go run. So then in episode 2, we talked about how I made it over through a divorce with my children. I believe that at that time, when things were just so rattled and my children were displaced in a way, you know, because they are displaced when, you know, 2 parents are no longer together, and then it's like, okay, there's mom's house, there's dad's house, and everything like that. One of the things that that I still do and will continue to do is have conversation with my children, and I like to make sure that they are okay with both homes. I always open the floor for them to ask any questions, if they have any concerns, because this is their livelihood as well. It's not just about my life, but they are my life, and I have to make sure that they are well set and ready to go, and also keep it like an open door, you know, for them to come to me as well, even though they really don't. But they boys. They don't come to mom, except for Josiah.
Yeah,
Josiah does, but my little ones, you know, they have their dad there, you know, but my door is always open for them in case there's any concerns or anything that they want to address or whatever it may be. You know, I keep that that communication line open for them, basically. And then we had our next episode 3, which was healing and dating after a divorce. So I've actually spoken to a lot of people who have divorced, and we have a lot of people who are, you know, still fragile of getting into the dating life because they don't know how to start, where to start, or anything like that. Nowadays, everything is so easy. We all have phones where we can just download a dating app and just pick and choose wherever you want to date, or you know, or go for a run. Go for a run,
guys. It makes a huge difference. I might take up running.
You're so silly.
It could change your storyline.
It will change your storyline. Go for that run. But
it might expedite your time.
Oh yes, absolutely. But the healing part of after divorce is extremely important. Sometimes you got to take some time out for yourself to not reevaluate your marriage or your divorce, but reevaluate the person who you are and who you once was as either a husband or a wife, and who you are now, because those are two separate people, and a lot of people may not realize that, you know, that they are definitely really different.
Yeah. So all jokes aside, like truly, like healing is not mechanisms. Finding habits of healing is highly important. But I wanted to add in, so as a woman or as a man, if you are, whoever, if you have kids, it's very imperative that you show up as your best self to them and you're healed. So, I mean, and the kids do feel what the parents do. So I wanted to say too, like to the point of getting up and over or going through a divorce or post, it's highly important to find those healing mechanisms and draw back to you yourself.
And then I will add to that, because this was the episode that I did with Victoria, and I remember one of the things that she has said was that, you know, during the healing process, we ourselves cannot build that person up. They have to be able to build themselves up. When you're able to build themselves up, you'll be able to engage in a relationship, a healthy relationship on top of that. So you won't have to worry about reverting or, you know,
attracting
old habits or
person. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
No, truly, because it happens. Because when you divorce, like it happens that the person goes for the same old patterns, and if they're not healed, you default to attract the same thing, but but different person.
And which is
right, you know,
which is why it is imperative, or I like to say vital,
like
a step up for you to reevaluate yourself. And sometimes you just got to take time and not rush before you get into the dating scene. You know, it's so, but you know, but to be honest, it's okay to date too. Sometimes you can
there's
date.
lessons learned that you're still
absolutely.
You know, you are refined by the fight. You go through the process. It's just through the process that you had to learn these tools by only taking that step to talk to people. You know, I mean, and then that's where you don't prolong those specific assignments. Like if you were supposed to meet a guy and only talk with them, but now you're like 10 months down the road with him, knowing he was not meant to, or like vice versa. And things happen and we learn, but the things that it's the lessons learned that we have to learn. Or sometimes when talking to somebody, they may resemble certain qualities that you're looking for, but not just quite the thing. But you had to see, I don't know, oh, this guy's a really good communicator, or they can have certain fruits that you see, like, oh, he's patient, but you weren't meant to be with him. But
absolutely, and I will, and I'm gonna add this part in there as well too, because this was the young me. Because remember, guys, because remember I did get married twice, and I am divorced twice. So I remember after my first marriage, I didn't want anyone to have any traits of what he has.
Oh, okay.
None of those traits at all I didn't want.
Cool.
But I want to let you guys know that regardless of anything, we are human. There are things that are cycle. There are certain things that's just a basic foundation for a man. There are things that's just a simple foundation for as a woman. And with that being said, regardless of anything, everybody's going to have a little bit of tendency of something that the other person had.
Yes.
And it took another male friend to actually tell me that. And he was like, everybody going to have a little bit of his tendencies. He said, you can't run from it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. I'm like, you're right. I'm like, I have one of my pet peeves. I don't like people who squeeze toothpaste in the middle. I can't stand it.
Me too.
But I got children.
It's funny that you went with that one, because that's so important to me. To me, I'm like, how do you go for the middle when the top perfectly produces? Just go down the line, or go from where the toothpaste left off.
Yep.
That's
it. So so everybody's gonna have some type of tendency that
exactly.
So it's
there's the small things and there's the big things.
Absolutely, and I always say there's things that you can. There's things that you, there's things that you can like, and there's things that are long term. I always say the things that you like are short term, which means that, whatever it is that they do, it's only going to be short term. But then you have the things that's long term. Those are things that you'd be like, all right, like squeezing in the middle of a toothpaste.
Yeah.
That shouldn't make or break your relationship. I'm going to tell you that right now. If that make or break your relationship, stay single.
Truly. And then I've heard and was advised to, like, something like wardrobe. Come on, you know what I mean? Certain things could be fixed up or just embraced, right? It's not those big things. Exactly. But just to add in here, there's like so much advice in chats. I'm having about this constantly. But what I'm advised as a woman is like, go for the man's heart. There's the big picture things, great. There's the small picture things.
Absolutely.
Don't compromise your non-negotiables.
Right.
But of course, when you have that little list, and it could be exhaustive for some or short, don't be nitpicking with the list to like make or break off the toothpaste.
Absolutely.
Or like, you know what I mean? Right. So like, it's like,
for example, I've been blessed. I do not smoke. I barely never ever drink. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a bar, but don't touch it. It's actually, it has dust on it, to be honest. But I also been blessed to be with a man who also does not smoke or drink. Now, I'm gonna be honest. If you smoke and you're a heavy drinker, that is a deal breaker for me. Yeah. Because I don't do either, especially with the smoking. Because you light up a smoke, you're going to kill. I can never be with anybody who smokes. So if I was dating someone and I found out that they were, smoking, sorry.
No, truly. But all in all, go ahead and watch that episode.
Yes.
The healing is so important in order to overcome it. In order to overcome, there has to be change within you.
Absolutely.
And doing the same thing does not inflict. You can't expect change by being the same person. So go ahead.
Yes, and please understand that. That's why you have to self-reflect. Sometimes, I will just, before we talk about the next episode quickly, I remember my brother and I, we were having a conversation, and this was about my last divorce. And my brother was like, he said, well, both did wrong or whatever. And I was like, but I didn't do anything wrong. He's like, no, you did. He said, just think about it. And I had to think about it. I did. I thought about it. And then I said, you know what? I said, you're right. I said, you know what I didn't do? I didn't speak up when I was supposed to. I let things
just roll
out
over.
Or build up and stay dormant until I exploded one day. So of course, when you let things like that happen, you will always look like the bad person. I'm gonna be very honest with you, because it's like, well, you ain't say nothing about this previously, and now all of a sudden this is now an issue and it's da-da-da-da-da-da. So I've learned a huge lesson from that, to communicate and express
right away
my bothersome, basically. So we have
then that keeps like the vulnerability, the same page, and it keeps the purity that way between you guys too. Like it's nothing held over.
Absolutely.
But that's a huge one. But I was gonna say, yes, accountability. I mean, friendships, relationships, or marriages, whatever you want to apply, accountability is so important. So even when it comes to divorce or a breakup, whatever it is, or even those who are widowed and lost your loved one, it's so important to still reflect back and take that accountability. Okay, what was my part? So that's very profound. And great advice, because there's always lessons learned.
There are always lessons
learned.
And I will say this as well, is that, you know, I can tell that I had healed because I am not the same person I was before. If I didn't heal, my communication with Q would not be as great as it is now. I think I over communicate with him, which is okay, but I think it's the best way to be, not to communicate and express if anything is going wrong.
And you, like, I'm just saying, to that point, like, you show up differently to that next season. Like you wouldn't be brought to your next season if you would show up as your old self.
Absolutely.
Those two can't tie.
Absolutely.
So just also say it's a must. Like you said, it's not even an option. It's not imperative. It's required.
Absolutely.
For you to go through the healing.
Healing first, date. So then when you're ready to get into your new relationship, you will be ready to go. So then we had episode 4, which was life before and after divorce. So, you know, I spoke about this as a woman, you know, growing up prior to being married as Tanya Lorraine Dean. And then, you know, this episode was really hard because this was the one that I really spoke about the abuse, deeper topics, the abuse that I've gone through, which reflects to be the woman that I am today.
And that one
with men.
Yes, and that was a great episode. It's deeper topics, but it must be spoken. Like it's not now it's normalized, right? But sometimes it can be uncommon to speak up about your past traumas. And then those vulnerable moments where, like, how do you deal with your traumas as you're healing, and with someone, like, so that's very vulnerable, upfront, real, and kind of like, the life before and then after. So
absolutely,
don't shy away if you guys ever went through things like abuse, harm, or whether it's verbal. Because any type of abuse is going to change you. Regardless, it's going to change you, and it's going to change your whole perspective of life, people that you deal with, and if you go through the right counseling, which thank God I had counseling, you know, to help me cope with some things. I'm not going to say like it was 100%, but I have been able to cope with so many things and grow from it. And I saw the woman that I was prior to marriage, and then I saw the woman who I am now after divorce. And I am more of a protective mom, even though I have boys. My oldest, Josiah, he's 18 now, and you know, he's ready to conquer the world, and he is, you know, becoming a man into his own world, which he will always be my child and my baby, you know, my firstborn, you know, but just watching him as well. And I'm just teaching him on a softer side from a mother's point of view. And as a woman, I talk to my son and let him know what to expect out there, and what to do and what not to do. And as sad as it is, I had a conversation with a few of the ladies in my office actually, and we were talking about, you know, some of the things that we try to prevent our children from, you know, going through. Now I have 3 boys, and with each of my boys I will do the same thing, and I will tell them the same exact thing. I told my son, if he's ever in a situation whereas he's with a woman alone and they're about to jump into the next step and she say no, I kid you not, I told my son to call and FaceTime me immediately.
so I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I can
very
record
important.
what's going on, because I don't want anyone saying that my child did something and there's a witness that's there. So it's crazy that we at these stages, you know, but we are. But you know, if something was like that to happen, that would change his whole like trajectory of life.
Truly.
You know, and it would set a way different pattern than what he may originally have. So, you know, that episode was really hard, but you know, because of my healing process with that, it made it easy for me to be able to engage with others who have gone through similar situations or the same situations, and how they were able to cope and get out of it and heal from it as well. And you know, we also talked about the effects on their marriages as well. You know, some don't like to be touched or any kind of way, and I'm an affectionate person, so I like the hugs, I like the kisses and stuff like that, because that was the one thing that I never did get when I was growing up. As crazy as it sounds. So yeah, so that was that. Then we had episode 5, which Miss KAYLA joined me on.
Yes, growing in faith.
Yes.
Okay. Growing in faith, which is just so important while you're in the trenches of your season, whatever time period you're in. Growing in your womanhood or your manhood, and then your faith and closeness with God is like top tier. Okay. Half of our growth, healing, or revelation or overcoming cannot be done without the Lord. Okay.
That's right.
So
God leads all the time.
And
if
so,
you allow him to do so.
If you allow him to do so. If you surrender into this next stage, if you surrender into where you're at right now, living for right now and living for the future and for the hope of that. So it was that was a great discussion, and a couple topics too when you're in the trenches and in a low spot, not in your most happy days, but you're like, okay, I'm doing okay, a bit of an overcast, or I'm kind of down today, or it's kind of hard to see the hope or the light at the end of the tunnel. Right. So we talk about kind of that environment to then combating that through our faith. So then when you go through a trial, we then embrace that trial, and I gave a scripture, Ephesians 3:13. Do not be discouraged by the trials I have for you. Okay, for my life, for Lorraine's life, for example, by both of our renovations, having 2 different complications, or struggles. Yes. We struggle differently, but it's like that was meant for her, and that was meant for me, and it grew both of us. It broke us. What broke me? It broke us down to rebuild us up, but it broke us anyway in different ways, or humbled us too, and more, even more, and gave us newfound perspective. But it was meant for us, right? And then what's your case? Is meant those trials are meant for you to come out on the other side. So think about that, and like think about how everything happens so intently in your life. Nothing is done by accident, not even your past, your mistakes, not your present, not the mistake you made yesterday, the one this morning. We live forward every moment we have, and especially every new morning. So that's the faith part, just the standing on hope. So hang on to hope, whatever you're going through, and just know that what I'm going through is meant for me to then overcome and come on the other side, because you will. And day by day you are growing. So write down those lists, write down your bullet points, open up a thankful journal for morning gratitude, night gratitude, whatever you gotta do, and step into your prayer, your warfare, your worship, and then whatever you're facing, and then in turn as a parent that your kids are facing, that's where you speak to. You gotta start praying for your kids and your future kids, grandchildren, for any demonic attacks or anything going on, because that's very true and real. But we rise up, amen. So just to say, grow in faith is so important in this journey. So that was a great point.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I always say it's, don't be afraid to take a leap of faith, and it's okay. You don't have to take big jumps. I take small ones. I'll be honest. I'm like that. I do. My bestie would tell you, she takes big jumps.
Yeah.
And I'm right behind her taking baby steps.
Yes.
I'm like that. And I told her, I will get there.
Right.
I will get there. I just go at my pace.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's what that's really for.
True.
You don't have to try to force yourself to catch up to other people.
No.
Just because you see one person with it or another person with something that you desire does not mean that it's not coming to you. All of our desires come to us in different ways, in many different ways. It's going to get there. For some, it's just a little bit longer than others. Sometimes God is trying to humble us. Sometimes there is a test. Sometimes we have to take a step back and maybe like rearrange some things and really think about like how we're going to do to strategize.
Reset. Yeah. Come back to the table and say, okay, this all has to be re-examined.
Absolutely.
And then I second that. Don't be afraid to take leaps of faith, whether it's small or greater.
That's right.
I was saying in my life, I take big steps seemingly, which is, I guess, in terms of what I'm built for. Not that I asked for it, but sometimes it's just like, it piles on, and I'm like, okay.
It happens, yeah.
But it's so funny, because I feel like I just was praying last night, or this morning anyway. I forgot it was last night or this morning. But like, I did pray, like everything I'm going through like now, I did pray for that. And I did desire that in my 20s I would have diverse projects, things I'm working on, all that stuff. And it really came to pass that, so the plate that we have, think about it, if it's an answered prayer or something that's like so is purpose for you.
Absolutely. And I'm also going to add, I'm going to piggyback off to what KAYLA has said about, writing in your prayer journals, or just writing down your bullets. Yep. So when KAYLA and I first started with the podcast, and we was actually, KAYLA had me working hard on these introductions.
I know.
Got me in my bed.
Yes.
I didn't forget.
We did like different scenes.
We did a whole bunch of different scenes. And but the one thing that I had showed KAYLA during one of the scenes was that I kept index cards by my bed that were impactful for me. They were powerful and they were uplifting. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you cannot wait for anyone else to cheer you on. There are many of us who may not have cheerleaders at all. Sometimes it is just you standing by yourself in the spot that you are in. And you have to learn to cheer yourself, to motivate yourself, to place yourself in a determination spot where you know you want to get to where you need to get.
Up, even mentally, pull yourself up every day. One thing I always say is you have to have your own life jacket on.
Yes.
You can't depend on someone else to have that life jacket to save you. There's times that someone will throw the anchor and the person refuses to grab. Like, you have to be the first one responsible to be saved.
Exactly. Sometimes, you may not have that, you may not have a life jacket. You may see yourself like drown a little bit. Just try to just swim through it. Swim through it. Because once your head is above that water, there's just so much life afterwards. So it's important to stay prayerful, and don't get me wrong, you may not be able to pray every day. Sometimes I don't pray every day, but when I pray, I pray. But the one thing I do is worship every day. I do. I worship every day. I'm always uplifting, and I also encourage myself. There are times where I feel like I may not be in a space where I should be, like winning the lottery, it's just terrible. I've been going at it for so long and I still haven't won yet. And sometimes it saddens me. And, I really get deep and I'll be like, oh my God, just a joke. But you get the drift of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
KAYLA, I know you didn't believe that. Really, KAYLA? She is just so adorable. Those are just all risks that I'm taking. But you get the drift of what I'm saying. It's just don't dwell in it. Look for other options that can get you to where you want to get
and
to.
And by not dwelling, I think in the way to get over, or as you do, it really is a progression, guys.
Absolutely.
Like with babies crawling, the one step to crawl, or the anyway, or them learning how to walk, that one step they took is still a step forward. Absolutely. The one step you take, the one initiative, like even with you, like prayer and worship, your worship is your prayer.
Absolutely.
Prayer is just communicating with God. So as you're singing out to Him, you are communicating
as always
with Him. So I always say, like, don't discredit the progress or like the efforts. And not saying you intentionally are, but speaking to you guys too, we could be so hard on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Don't discredit the efforts or the strides you are making. I can see that too. Like the bar is so high, or if it's with work or whatever it is. Well, I still have to get all these things done in my planner. But it's like, oh, look at what you did get done, though.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. We never look at what we have completed. We always looking at what has not been done.
Glass half full or
absolutely.
empty.
And sometimes you gotta take a step and
back.
just take a step back, breathe, and cheer yourself on. Just cheer yourself on. Give yourself
fix
a pat
your
on the back.
crown and say, you know
Hello.
what?
Let me tell you how many times I've been fixing my crown.
Every day. I'm
You won't find me crooked.
And when I don't, I'm like, readjust this thought.
Absolutely.
No, don't. And you know, so that's just all, just
growing in faith.
Yes, growing in faith. And standing on that.
Yeah.
So,
try to be a different person from who you were starting from like last week.
True.
You know, you should not be the same person as you were last year. Or even last year.
Yes.
Like last year, you should be two different people.
That's true. It's true. And then that holds true for me. Like, every year, every month, every week, every day, we should grow and change. And even that daily change, it kind of helps you mentally. Like, saying, like, yesterday, I really was dragging my feet, or I could have did this better. But when you reset in that next day, you reset empowered and pumped up, because that is not hanging over you, or that like shame or those poor negative thoughts. You're like, you know what, today's a new day, so I'm gonna start this over tomorrow, and then it's you're wiped clean.
And so just as KAYLA say that too, I always say, and I started to tell this to my son at the beginning of this week. I always tell people, I'm like, when you at work and you stressed out and you have so much to do, you have deadlines and everything. Everybody got deadlines. We all got deadlines. But you know what I always say?
Upper management to like
all the way down. But I always tell myself, tomorrow's another day.
It is.
That's it. Tomorrow's
because
another day.
Because how can we worry about the whole plate we have today? Like when it's...
We have too much. You have work and you have your personal life. Amongst other things in between, you know?
And then don't worry about tomorrow, because how are you worrying about tomorrow for today? You know, that you're already putting those negative thoughts and emotions.
Exactly.
So every day, one day at a time.
I agree.
And I was just going to say, those index cards and affirmation cards are so... Like, I was like, hold on, slow down real quick, because I wrote down I was like, text me some pictures of these. It was so good, and it was a chain breaker moment for me on certain things out of here, and certain things that was so true, and certain things I was growing in, especially when it comes to what's the word, to articulate myself and to to be more assertive. I could be very passive, and like you, because you see that in me when you're younger, you bottle up. It's fine, and you're breaking inside. Whose peace? You know, you would protect other people's peace instead of your own, just for the sake of like how they would feel. But no, so I'm so inspired to like share those on like my channel. But I would love to probably like let's share them.
Absolutely,
with you guys.
Absolutely, and I continuously build my affirmation cards as well.
Yeah,
especially ones that I know really strikes me. I still put them on index cards.
I took it and ran with it, and I tailored some to my own, and it's just so awesome. So guys, like truly, and then comment down below what affirmations you guys have, honestly, or what you guys do, because
to help you get to
help
each
other and help you.
Absolutely.
Drop it down.
Exactly. The next episode, which was dating with intention. So I spoke mainly about what you should be looking for in a partner, a long-term partner, and what not to go for. This is also like a teaching lesson for like KAYLA's generation as well, for those who are still, you know, in the dating scene or starting to date. I did not compromise any of my wants and needs I have to say, Q, and he probably wouldn't even know, he has not only has everything that I'm looking for, but there's things that I didn't even know that I needed.
That you needed to be filled.
That he actually gives me.
About.
And it's the smallest things. It could be like, you know, a rub of the hands. There's times where he's just rubbing my feet,
That's so
you know,
amazing.
or if he knows that I've been working out and my legs are sore, and he'll be like, I'll rub your legs after your shower. You know, it's like things like that, you know, things that I will say that just not accustomed to,
True.
you know. So to say, there's times where he rubs my head for me and I'll be like, okay, the
Absolutely.
braids, especially if I got braids, don't mess them up.
Yes. And just to say, guys, that is the type of man you should be looking, or like the type and like the caliber and the like capacity of man, because like you could be looking for you could be getting a boy and you could be getting a man. I'll just say that, to be honest. Really.
Yes.
So
yes.
All I'm saying is don't settle.
Absolutely.
All that good stuff.
Absolutely. You want somebody who's attentive.
Yes.
So, and I can honestly say with Q, he's very attentive to me. We could, like, again, I'm going to say we overly communicate. I will say that we overly communicate. We could, you know, if there's something, because we're still new, it's been a year, and because it's new, we're still learning each other. So we're still learning the do's and don'ts and stuff like that, and we're learning it with respect. You know, so it's like, you know, because I'm the type of person, I don't like to argue, so I'm just like, if there's something that you don't like, I'll be like, I'm very calm, cool, and collected. I'll be like, I'm like, okay, not a problem. Going forward, I will not do this again. And you know, and sometimes that is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Like I'm not big on blueberries. Okay, so I won't make blueberry pancakes for everyone. I'll make blueberries and some vanilla or some banana.
Absolutely.
Everybody's happy.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you were silent, I wouldn't know if you didn't like the blueberries.
Exactly. So that's what I say. In this relationship that I am in, we overly communicate, and we love it. We talk every single day. He'll call me at work at times. And like I said, it's not peaches and cream all the time. True. You know, we have our moments, you know, like any relationship will have. You know, we just, as a matter of fact, there was something that we came across on, it was something that I came across on TikTok yesterday, and it had to do with it was a much older couple. They've probably been married like over 50 years. And she talked about some of the terrains, the storms that their relationship has gone through. But just because you are in a bad situation does not mean that it's going to last that long. No, people got to understand there's that, and that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. These are old sayings. These are old sayings. There's always. It works.
It's true.
Let me tell you, Q and I, you know, because I said that at our ages, you know, I will be 45, Lord willing, in December, and he is 52. And yes, he does not look 52 at all. At all. He do not look 52 at all. And I always say, you know, at our ages, we should know what we want, where we want to go, what we want to do, and all this other stuff. And you know, we have had a moment not too long ago where, you know, I told him, I said, we didn't have the moment at that time, but you know, we were just discussing that there is always a resolution. There's always a solution to any issue there is, whether the person is going to like it or not.
Yes, there's always a solution.
Hopefully, because you love the person as much as I do love you, you will respect it, and you won't, you know.
See, that's why it's changing. Like marriage is not where I do know. Like first of all, there's a mirror. There's accountability. That you have to have the mirror on yourself.
Absolutely.
The accountability.
Absolutely.
And the willingness to surrender and change those things. And to accommodate.
Because the thing is this, you're not also just surrendering to God as well. From the woman's side, you're surrendering to your partner. Your man. I'm surrendering to Q. You're surrendering to your partner, that's what it's all about.
That's what it details.
Compromise.
It is. Ephesians chapter 5. Y'all read it, study it. Women especially, because you see what the man's part, but you see the accountability of the woman.
Absolutely.
Submit to your man in everything. Mm-hmm. So it's like, even pray. I was praying this morning early. Lord, prepare me to in the ways that I need to be able to submit to my husband.
Absolutely.
Everything. That's what that means.
You know what? I am so glad you said this. So I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if I never told you this.
Oh, well.
So back in 2023, this was in the month of April. I would never forget this. This was early in the morning. I had woken up early in the morning and I was on my way to work and I had the kids in the car. And I remember I was in a situation that was phasing out. It was already like, I think it ended. It had already ended at that time. And I remember that morning that I was praying for my man.
Wow.
And I told God, I said, God, you know where my heart is at. I said, so I'm coming to you as a friend.
Right.
I'm coming to you as your daughter. I'm coming to you with an open heart.
Yes.
I said, I'm surrendering everything to you. And I said, I'm going to pray for my man. Let me tell y'all something. I prayed for my man from the top of his crown to his baby toe. I did not miss a beat in anything of what I wanted and what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop right there, but I'm gonna come right back.
Yes.
So there is an app that they have called Nextdoor. I actually love the app. The app is really, really good. It's helpful for those who know. For those who don't know, Nextdoor is basically people around in your neighborhood that can help you with things that you may want to solicit.
Yeah,
like if you're looking for a handyman or plumbing,
or
exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll recommend some of the businesses. So back in February of 2023. I posted that I was looking for a one-man shop that knows how to do electrical, plumbing, knows how to lay down floors, who knows how to paint. I was looking for all of that. And this was on a posting. Right? So this was in February of 2023. I prayed for my man in April of 2023. In June of 2023, someone suggested Q to be my one-man shop, to do everything. But at that time, neither one of us was ready for each other. That was
wait, regarding the work, right? Like
no, that. Let me tell you. Wait, it's weird. It's weird. But wait, it was. So that was in June of 2023. So remember, in February of 2023, I posted on Nextdoor that I needed a one-man shop to do everything, right? In April of 2023, I prayed to God for the type of man that I wanted. In June of 2023, someone suggested Q, because just so y'all know, Q has his own construction company. Yeah. So that's why I also say he was my GC. He's had his own construction home. He specializes in bathrooms and kitchens, but he knows how to build a house from top to bottom. So he was recommended to me that June of 2023 for services that I was looking for. Several months later, in March 17th of 2024 is when I met Q. But I didn't know that he was recommended to me until when? June of 2024.
Wow.
So I found out a year later. I was helping him, do some marketing stuff. And I went on to Nextdoor on my app. And I put his company's name in,
and then it
popped up under me. And I was like, "Why is your name popping up under me?" I was like, "I don't know you. I didn't know." Meaning like I didn't know him at that time.
Yeah.
And it was because a year later, that June of 2023, somebody recommended him to me. Can we say that's God?
No, only him, and then but once.
I know, it's so amazing. It's so amazing.
Because people say be specific. No, but it really is amazing. Because I've been observing, for me, being in the angle who is single, I have a lot of people to observe and I'm taking note. That's the blessing of where I'm at in my life. Because you take these notes. But seemingly, what you're praying for or putting out there in that way.
Absolutely.
The Lord fulfills our desires. Why not?
Sure does.
You really looked for a one-stop
shop. And I showed Q the posting.
See, the Lord knew already, he will be your one-stop shop.
Absolutely.
She had to heal and go through all of that.
I had to heal, as well as he did, because he went through his stuff as well.
Yes.
So he had to go through his healing process as well as I did. But it's just the timeline of everything. When you have February of 2023 with me posting, April of 2023 of me praying, June of 2023 with somebody recommending him to me, and then several months later we meet in March of 2024. So prayer, listen,
like it worked.
My prayer was answered.
Exactly. I'm standing on that. So so that's why
dating with intentions.
Exactly. That's the topic of it. But so open up that Bible chapter verse, Ephesians 5. So I was just praying for my husband to prepare him, because it says to submit to him. So I was saying prepare him so that I can, or he could be, the man that he needs to be, so I can then submit. Like, pray for his leading and all those things that he has to do as the headship and the leader. So so it's cohesive. It really is.
Absolutely.
So, dating with intentions.
Yes.
Check that out.
It really speaks more about my love story and how this man had intentions on captivating me in one shot, and I couldn't help but to say yes.
Exactly. So you guys will reach that too. I know I myself, I'm standing on the hope and the belief and assurance of it. But there's always stepping stones. There's always prerequisites before you can. So like you said, don't look at someone's story and say, oh, I want to be married too, or they're having kids and I want to be like, you're gonna get there, or it's meant for you, it's there for you, but you have to go through the journey to become the person to be ready for that season. So,
absolutely. And that's very true. So you know, I didn't think, and I'll tell you guys this right now, I was not looking at the time. I just was not looking. I was like just chilling, and then I see this bright beautiful smile. I know, and then you're gonna get a bright beautiful smile, because he has a beautiful smile. I'll tell you that right now. That's a very beautiful smile, and that's what, you know, captivated me. And like I said, we had a very good, we started off as friends, so that was the other thing too. We started off as friends, and we had good communication. Our communication was so well that I would talk to my best friend, then I talked to Q, and then I went to bed. I fell asleep on him a few times. You know, and then we had a period when we did stop talking, and then when we got back in contact, we have not lost communication since. And I have not, and I'm gonna be honest too with y'all, and I tell this to Q all the time as well too, because he let it be known that the second time around when we got back, when we reconnected, that he had intentions with me, but he didn't know. Lo and behold, I also had intentions as well. I won't talk about that, but I was trying to grab him all for me, and I was just like, and I was just willing and dealing, like yes, exactly. I was trying to suck up all his free time. Truly. You free? Why don't we go out? Let's go do this. Or he'll ask what am I doing. I think there was one time I went to IHOP, and he was on his way to do something, and as I was leaving, he came there. I swooped my car right back around.
Absolutely. So as you said, like,
I got a picture for that too. You know, when you have intentions towards each other, that's the best thing, and that's why dating with intentions is so important.
It is.
Know what it is that you want first in a person. You gotta know that. Even if you gotta write down the bullets, and I'm not talking about, oh, you want them to dress nice or anything. No, but I'm not talking about what's here, like what you physically see. I'm talking about, can you trust them? Yes. Can they communicate?
Their character,
you know,
like, their personality.
Yes, all of that. You want somebody that you can vibe with. Q and I, we act like not old people, but we just be out on the lawn and playing music and just chit-chatting, you know, peaceful. And it's peaceful, and it's our happy place. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. It's what makes us who we are and where we are right now. We're continuously building, and of course, as time goes along, I continue more to talk and share with you guys.
Exactly, but guys, just look at the product of it.
Absolutely.
This whole season, or like whole journey in its entirety, was so profound, and both of us looking back at our past year and seeing the product of it, it's worth it. Season 1 ended with a perfect point. of dating intentionally, because that's
Right.
the precursor to anybody. I mean,
Absolutely.
your most healed self, your joyful self. Look at the joy and the fruits of your labor. I mean,
Exactly. It's work, guys. It is
But I'm
work.
just saying, so for those of you who are just hanging or maybe discouraged or hanging
Right.
just on, oh, there's no love out there for me, or
It is.
whatever those intrusive thoughts are,
It is.
debunk it now.
Absolutely.
Throw it away now. Write on a paper, crumble it up,
Absolutely.
and toss it in the garbage.
Yeah.
ASAP.
This is where you got to speak. You have to speak faith,
Faith, yeah.
life,
Mm-hmm.
and faith into yourself,
Yeah.
and be optimistic about your life. If there's something that you really want, like really pray about it.
Press into it.
I
Pray
did
about
not think that with me praying for the type of man that I wanted, I was actually going to get. Let me tell you, there are times I'll be in the car. You know how many conversations I have with God?
it. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh,
Me
I'll be
too.
like, I told y'all in the last episode, I kept saying, I don't know what kept drawing me to Q. The 2 months that we did not speak, I couldn't stop thinking about him. I was always wondering what he was doing and everything. And I was like, God, what is it about this man that I cannot let go? Well, as you can see, we still together.
Exactly. That's the man.
That's why I was so big on saying,
Yes.
don't let your blessing go by.
No.
You know, because there's a reason. Sometimes, you know, you may think it's your inner, well, it is like your inner conscience talking to you as well. But there's a reason when something it was repetitive and it just kept going.
You can't
and
shake
going.
it.
And I couldn't shake
And
it.
also, there's provisions for that, or there's a progression
Absolutely.
in it. Just to end with, what's meant for you will not pass by.
Absolutely. It's
So
for you.
pay attention, stay what's the word? Attentive,
Yes.
and be in the driver's seat of your life in that way, and hang on to faith
Exactly.
and where God's leading you, because He will communicate to you and He will work through you to communicate in your story, evidently.
Exactly.
So
And don't be afraid. I was afraid.
Too.
I was really
fear.
afraid. So
Yes.
I had to really. What helped that day was the fact that somebody had made me upset. And I was just like, I'm going to text him right now. And it worked. Absolutely. So make sure you guys, revert back to all the episodes that KAYLA and I have posted and put out there.
Yes.
As you know, Miss KAYLA is my one-woman production team. And
We're
I
so
am your
excited.
host,
Yes.
Miss Lorraine here. And we want to welcome you to season 2 of the Blended Family Podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you next time.
We're so excited. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.